Morning. This is a part 2 video to the cheap and easy mower lift video that I made a little over 2 years ago. At that point, I had already been using it for a few years. Here we are over 2 years later. I am still using it. I wanted to go over how it is at this point, just to give an update and address some of the comments that I've gotten a lot of over the years. If you haven't watched that video, just search cheap and easy mower lift, and it'll explain what exactly this lift is. The video's kind of old. I was using a cell phone where the camera lens was a little dirty, so it's kind of cloudy. But if you haven't seen it, it's a chain hoist that I use to lift up the mowers to be able to scoot underneath there, swap out the blades, no problem, scrape the deck, and have no problems with it. And it all folds up into this little box. And this little box just sits up right on my shelf. So instead of having a big bulky lift that is a hydraulic lift that goes under the wheels and then you pick it up, or the, I think it's called a super jack, that it hooks onto your deck and then you pull the handle down and it lifts it up. Those take up a lot of space. They're expensive. I don't want to have one in my garage because garage floor space is very valuable real estate. So basically what it is, I just have like this 6-foot strap that has a loop on each end. I hook that up to the chain hoist and the chain hoist lifts it up, no problem. I just take the extra chain and I hook it over the hook of this inconveniently placed pole that everybody has in their garage, and it keeps that out of the way. And then I always put it on jack stands. Now, one of the most common comments that I get on this is about how it's anchored. It's all anchored with, I believe those are 1/2-inch lag screws, and that is just a trailer tie-down point or a trailer anchor that I got at Harbor Freight. It was $5 or $6. I found the edges of the floor joist and poked a pick through there just to make sure it was there and my stud finder wasn't, messed up. And here it is, years later. These things are still solid. They're not slipping, they're not loose. I haven't had to touch them since I put them in. So that's how it's anchored. And I've had a lot of people comment saying, oh, you shouldn't do that. They comment, well, I would never trust those lag bolts in a 2x4. What floor joists have you ever seen in a house that have been 2x4s? They, I don't know if you know anything about framing, but floor joists, there's a floor above my garage. So these floor joists are not 2x4s. A lot of people say, so these are, well, I don't really have anywhere to show you, but all of the floor joists above, these are all 2x10s that go through here. And so that is anchored solidly into a 2x10 with 1/2-inch lag screws. So that's that. Not 2x4s, not 2x6s. They are solid 2x10s. But then people have also said I need to put angle iron or a pipe up to spread out the load over multiple of the floor joists because they think that it'll sag or it'll break. Well, if you look at where this is, just 2 feet behind it is the main beam of the house. So this 2x10 is held up by this main beam of the house. There's nothing going to be bowing. There's nothing going to be breaking. So there's that issue. Another issue that people have brought up is, oh, if those things were to rip out of the wood, you're just going to get smashed. That's a dumb idea. Well, that's why, if you watch the whole video, I say to make sure you put it on jack stands. I never ever jack this up with the chain hoist and then just work on anything underneath it without these jack stands in place. Every time I lift it up, I put the jack stands there, I lower the deck onto the jack stands, and then it's got the chain hoist holding it up, and it is supported by jack stands. That way, if those bolts were to rip out, the jack stands are there, already supporting the weight, and it's good to go. Now I looked it up, and the pull force that we would take to rip those lag screws out of that 2x10 is, it said, between 400 and 800 pounds of pull force per bolt. So that gives me 800 to 1600 pounds of force that I can, of weight that I can lift safely on those lag screws. This entire machine weighs just over 900 pounds. So I could safely lift up this entire machine off of the ground, dangling from this chain hoist, and it would be okay. But you're not picking up 900 pounds when you do this. All you're doing is you're lifting up just the front edge of the machine. The whole back side is still sitting on the ground. So you're not lifting up the full 900 pounds when you lift it up like this. Now the reason I use a manual chain hoist rather than an electric hoist is, with an electric hoist you have to put in some sort of bracing or brackets or something to hang that chain hoist or that electric hoist from. And when you hit the button to lift it up, it's kind of herky-jerky. So this one, it moves it up very slow and controlled. There's no herky-jerky. So if you were using an electric one and you hit that button, it's going to go burp, 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 and that's going to put a lot of kind of shock force on those bolts. I don't want that. I want things to move nice and slow and easy right up to where I need it, and then gently set it back down. That way there's no shock load on those lag screws. So if you're thinking about doing this with an electric hoist, yes, I would recommend spreading out the load using bigger bolts or bigger lag screws. That way everything is very well supported and anchored in place, because it's got that kind of herky-jerkiness when you hit the button. But I've had people comment saying that they were going to use the chain hoist or maybe a come-along. There's a bunch of different items you can use. I use a 1-ton chain hoist because it was only 50 or 60 bucks from Harbor Freight. It's easy to put up there. All I do is lift it up, hook it on, and then I can get to work. And then the main point behind all of this is this chain hoist and this strap fit right into that box. There is no lift that I have to figure out where to store. There's no lift that is taking up any valuable real estate in the garage. I don't have to work around a lift that's sticking on the front of the mower, because when I go around, there's not a whole lot of space over here for me to lay down and get up underneath there to get to these blades. So it's nice to be able to just lay on my creeper, get right up under the front of it, zip off the blades, scrape the deck, put the new blades back on, lift it up, pull the things out, the jack stands out, lower it back down. I'm back in business. I've been using this system here for years, like I said. This is a bad boy Revolt 48. I use it on my 36. I've used it on a 48-inch sit-down zero-turn. I've used it for an X-Mark 60-inch, I believe is what it was. I've used it on a four-wheeler. I've used it on riding mowers. It works on everything. Will it pick up your car if you pull in here to lift it up and swap out a tire? Probably not. That's not what it was built for. That's not what it's designed for. It just works perfectly for mowers. And the reason I put it right here in the middle of the main bay of the garage is because I can just pull everything right through the door, right to here. I don't have to have it tucked over to the side. I have to have it over here where it's permanently affixed or anything. It gives me quick access to get the air tools right over to the mower. It just is a nice, easy, convenient spot. Let me see, are there any other comments that need to be addressed? But I think that is mainly most of the comments that I get on that video, saying that I'm not smart for what I'm doing, that it's dangerous. Like I said, I've been using this for, what, at least over 2 years. That's how old that video is. I said in that video I had already been using it for years at that point. So hopefully this explains what it is, how to do it, and make sure you're using the jack stands. I guess a lot of people don't get to that point in the video. Always put jack stands under your mower. That way, if something were to fail, there is a backup safety and you're not gonna get smushed. So what this does, it allows you, like I said, to get to the blades, take those off. You can scrape the deck easily, get that all cleaned up. I've used it for swapping out all 4 of the tires. It's strong enough to where I can come around and I can hook the chain into these tie-down points and just lift the back of the mower up an inch. That way I can get the tires off. I used it in the videos that I made for swapping out the spindle bearings. It's just handy to have, and it packs down into a small box. So hopefully that just that tells you what it is, what it's for. Hopefully it alleviates a lot of the comments. If you haven't seen that last video, go check it out. I go more into depth about what it is and why I use it. But here it is, update video. A couple of years later, everything is still solid. Never had any problems with it. Nothing has ever loosened or budged at all. It's still just a solid mower lift that I use every single week to do the maintenance on my machines. I'm gonna get back to work. Y'all be good.